Okay, your learning team has just crossed the finish line on Collaborative Project 2, and now you're turning your attention toward Project number 3. That's the one asking your learning team to examine the ethical implications of digital technology on a real-world social issue drawn from the films in the final third of our course. But before you get that work underway, there are 5 things your team really should stop doing. Because sometimes the quickest way to improve team member collaboration is to get out of your own way. First of all, stop ignoring patterns. When something goes wrong on a team project, it's tempting to put a Band-Aid on the immediate problem and move on. But if the same issues come up again and again, week after week, project after project, you're treating symptoms while the underlying pattern goes untouched. Before project number 3 gets rolling, take the time to ask why things break down in your collaboration, not just what. The Work Habits Inventory worksheet for this week, week 11, provides your learning team with a structured way to identify and change self-defeating patterns. Next, stop making vague commitments like, "We'll do better this time." Sound familiar? That might feel productive in the moment, but the sentiment evaporates quickly for too many learning teams. If your team leaves a planning conversation without a single concrete agreement, something with a name, a timeline, and a clear owner, you haven't actually made a commitment, you've just had a nice conversation. But your teamwork for the course deserves better than that. It requires real, ongoing communication, collaboration, and coordination of member activities across research, writing, and multimedia production. Third, stop letting the hard conversation wait. Now, every team has something that it hasn't said out loud. Maybe there's an imbalance in workload, or some other kind of problem that everyone sees but chooses to ignore. But these kinds of things quietly fester and breed resentment. Whatever the problem might be, trust me, it won't disappear on its own. It'll show up later, usually right before a deadline when there's no time left to deal with it in a constructive way. So, whatever that conversation might be for your team, quit waiting for the right moment to have it. This week's Team Challenge Reset worksheet is designed to help your team tackle the issue now before work for project number 3 begins in earnest. By the same token, quit waiting for someone else to speak up. Every team has a moment when something isn't working, but typically nobody says anything because it feels risky, awkward, or like it's not really your place, and the moment passes. But then it happens, again. And by the time someone finally speaks up, the problem has snowballed and you're out of time. If you've been waiting for a teammate to raise the issue, or for things to sort themselves out, stop waiting. The person who needs to speak up first is you. And finally, stop limping along through the course in the same old way. Look, your team has completed 2 projects together already. You know things about how your internal dynamic works and doesn't work that you simply didn't know back in week 3 when you met each other for the first time and developed your list of common values along with your team contract. Use the knowledge that you have gained in the meantime to change the situation. The whole point of our Week 11 meeting activities is to give your team a real opportunity to correct course and right the ship before it's too late. The self-awareness that your team builds right now, identifying patterns, communicating directly, committing to specific actions, isn't just useful for your activities in this course. They're exactly the kinds of competencies that will matter in your professional life after graduation. So it makes good sense to cultivate those skills now. All right, everyone. We've got a few weeks left of IAH241G Women Behind the Camera and On Screen. Make the time count and finish strong. Stop what isn't working, improve your collaborative approach, and bring your best teamwork into project number 3. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in class at the start of week 12. Bye for now.